Talismans go back. They're sort of rooted in sigils, and sigils go back. They've started becoming really popular around the time of the artist Austin Osman Spare, who's a huge practitioner when it comes to sigils. But it's also really deeply rooted in the magical tradition that I myself began practicing and been in love with my entire life. It was called the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, and they used to have a means of creating these sigils based on, the Hebrew alphabet, numerology, and a bunch of other things, which is exactly what I do now. So I'm taking a spiritual technique that goes back to a magical lodge that existed in the late 1800s in England, taking that exact system, reproducing it in the modern day world, and that's a lot of what you'll see hanging up there, as well as tattooed all over my entire body. I think pretty much every piece here now that's either cipher, sigils, or talisman, at least a piece, at least a part of every single one of those pieces is tattooed on me somewhere. So even when they go out into the world, when somebody gives them a home, I'll still have part of them with me for the rest of my life.
It's so interesting to me that the culprit really for your initial conviction was this misunderstanding about your interest in magic and these kind of outcast behaviors or way of dressing or whatever, and you really embrace that as part of your identity and who you are now that you're out, instead of run from it or hidden from it in some way, which in some ways the Salem idea it feels like a appropriate metaphor as far as a place associated with something that in the past caused trouble but now is, maybe there's no question there, but
well, I see what you're saying, and what I've always told people is that, a lot of people said, well, if they had done that to me, then I would want as far away from those concepts and practices and everything else as I could possibly get. And I think what I've always said is, if you start giving up the things you love, the things that make you who you are, the things that make your life worth living, the things you find beauty and magic in, if you start giving those things up just because of outside pressure that other people put on you, then you may as well not be alive anyway. If you give up everything you love, then what's the point of even living?